These amazing bipedal robot group looks like Aussie manager has got to stop putting up with no way to know when the housing market will crash, so focus on two things instead. Zimbabwe Air Force helicopter crashes near capital, 4 killed. Biden to visit UK, Belgium for G7 and NATO meetings in first overseas trip as president. Feds fund mental health crisis teams to stand in for police. Why Josh Hawley wants to be the only no vote, even on a hate crimes bill. Here's what to keep in mind when creating and selling an NFT. Columbus police shooting prompts media pundits to offer TV-inspired nonsense on police tactics. Autoliv Incorporated's ALV CEO Mikael Bratt on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, tough in software, why you should be interested. Wrexham, 2 arrested after man found with stab wounds in Kaya Park. Morgan Stanley stick to their buy rating for Blackstone Group by investing.com. Amex needs people to start leaving home again. Amazon and Google spent $7.5 million lobbying politicians in the first 3 months of 2021. Google, AMZN. Top U.S. banks deploy AI surveillance to monitor customers, workers. Intervoke raises $2.7 million to power online events that can be embedded anywhere. Boy missing after falling from London's Tower Bridge into River Thames. Obamacare premiums will skyrocket next year. Here's what it means for you. Betsy Brandt talks Breaking Bad in her new series, Life in Pieces. Polls. Clinton has a 9-point lead over Trump, but he's ahead in Florida. Indians take Game 1 of the World Series. Are the polls missing a group of Trump voters? Inside North Korea, how international sanctions impact everyday life. Bitcoin drops below $50,000 on reports of higher taxes on the rich. Eagle Intermediate Global Holding BV. Moody's upgrades the Lycra company to K1. Outlook stable. Sequa Mezzanine Holdings LLC. Moody's announces completion of a periodic review of ratings of Sequa Corporation. WPCPP Holdings LLC. Moody's announces completion of a periodic review of ratings of WPCPP Holdings LLC. Used CAD continues to consolidate nearer the lower Garrett Motion consensual plan of reorganization receives court approval, VW to start diesel buybacks, and other money watch headlines. Psychedelics stock MindMed skyrockets on the news of Nasdaq trading. Benzinga. Worldwide IT Training Industry to 2026, featuring Avant Academy, CGS and Corpex among others. GenFit, publication of the 2020 Universal Registration Document and the 2020 Annual Report on Form 20F, Annual Shareholders Meeting to take place on June 15, 2021. White House responds to Thursday's stock market drop. It went back up this morning. BitGo awarded contract to safeguard digital assets for the U.S. Marshals Service. ClickHealth's Lori Grant honored as 2021 Industry Person of the Year at MedAd News Manny Awards. The most important things drivers should know about car insurance quotes. Nearly two-thirds of smartphone owners report interest in item trackers. Discovery can succeed on its own in D2C. Gentex Corp., GNTX, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. First Financial Bancorp, FFBC, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. Generac Holdings Incorporated is poised to shine in Grid 2.0 as a new S&P 500 member. 3 positives from Netflix's disappointing earnings. Why Skechers stock soared today. Tyson begins $48 million poultry production expansion as chicken demand soars. Harley-Davidson sales finally hit pay dirt again. We need all sectors to create a better, whole future for our children. Dermtech rises after announcing the launch of early detection test for melanoma. Schlumberger Limited, SLB, CEO Olivier Lequeux on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. Honeywell International Incorporated, HON, CEO Darius Adamczyk on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. Robert Page to take charge of Wales at Euro 2020 after Ryan Giggs charged with assault. Billy Crystal hopes viewers will tune in for the Oscars and get back to the movies. The CEO of $9 billion plus Danium says the company has hired a new CFO to assess the possibility of holding its long-awaited IPO. 3 things you need to know about this historic earnings season. Part 2. Ternium surges 33% YTD. More upside left? 2 travel stocks to buy. 2 to avoid. Pamper your pup with an exclusive 20% off Wild One pet accessories. U.S. begins to move equipment out of Afghanistan and approves deployment of forces to protect withdrawal operations. Norwest Venture Partners Lisa Wu to teach founders how to think like a VC at TC early stage. TechCrunch, Williams fights back to lead Higgins in battle of former world champions. Finance Ministry relaxes spending norms to boost capital expenditure. Full video, Hillary Clinton accuses Trump of using undocumented workers. Clinton hits Trump on new hotel opening. National Guard bonus paybacks suspended. How will the next president shape the Supreme Court? Watch, giant spider drags off mouse. Man destroys Donald Trump's Hollywood star with sledgehammer. Grandma's Halloween display depicts police shootings. Honeywell warns on lagging aerospace unit, but JP Morgan's Tusa says buy. Biden calls on world leaders to invest in clean energy before point of no return. Amatech, value creation through bolt-on acquisitions. Danny Green's disturbing web history provides a clue in the murder of her ex-husband. Hailey Hasselhoff says she wore her own lingerie for European Playboy cover. There's still a long way to go. Latham Group stock soars nearly 35% after swimming pool firm's IPO prices weekly. Ledyard Financial Group declares increase to quarterly dividend. Fifth Third Bank named to Forbes Best Employers for Diversity 2021 list. Nestle is set in talks to buy maker of Nature's Bounty vitamins. Report: White House reveals Biden's first overseas trip will be to Europe. Eno, OCGN, Gdalimvis among midday movers. Hilltop declares 12-cent dividend. Red Bull recruits senior engineer from championship rivals Mercedes. Rafael Nadal beats Cameron Norrie to reach Barcelona Open semi-finals. Bitcoin price drops below $50,000, over $1 billion in trades liquidated. Obamacare premiums expected to increase. Ponies detained at Belfast port over Brexit forms reunited with owner. A rare look inside North Korea's capital city. Full video. Trump opens new hotel in D.C., praises Newt Gingrich. NJ father dies after jumping from bridge holding two kids. Refugees flee Mosul amid offensive against ISIS. AFMS gets emergency financial powers to fight COVID-19 spike. India to lift high-capacity tankers from UAE and Singapore. NASA, Elon Musk react to SpaceX Crew 2 launch. It took 10 years to get here. Pound sterling to Japanese yen analysis could edge higher. CSU announces new partnership with the Technisys platform, aiming to structure its differentiated offer in the BOS industry. 415 plus customers and stakeholders put support behind CPKCS combination. ASEAN Pharmaceutical Manufacturing Market 2017 to 2027, by Formulation and Country Wire. COVID-19, India arrivals begin hotel isolation and Wembley's extra Euro match. Alitalia worker strike cancels flights at Rome's airport. NY man bragged about Capitol riot on Bumble, his match turned him in. Reds fan loses more than his nachos in epic fall trying to catch home run ball. Wise, formerly TransferWise, gifts shares to customers. Go read this deep dive into Uber founder Travis Kalanick's cloud kitchen startup. Quiplash, one of the best party games ever, is free on Steam this weekend. Pelosi has raised more than $1 billion since entering leadership in 2002. India on track to become the world epicenter for COVID-19. Biden addresses world leaders on final day of climate summit. TFSA investors got $6,000? Buy this dividend stock now. Hoosier State Senate race down to the wire. Reliant Bancorp Incorporated declares cash dividend of 12 cents per share. 2-year-old's reaction to staring students goes viral. Clinton urges supporters not to get complacent, says Trump can still win. We the voters, do you really have a constitutional right to vote? Earthquake rocks central Italy. Voices of young climate activists. How the pandemic changed the way we protest. Video. Tamron announces 2 spectacular new lenses for Sony E-mount cameras. More info at B&H. FX Wire Pro, Daily Commodity Tracker, 23rd of April, 2021, First Energy Corp., FE, Q1 2021 Earnings Call Transcript. Here's how Cobalt raised $37 million for its vision that ethical hackers will always make a place for humans in the increasingly automated cybersecurity industry. COVID-19 concerns raised at St. Louis death penalty trial. The Fresh Market voted the best supermarket in America. $19.3 billion worldwide physical vapor deposition industry to 2027. Impact of COVID-19 on the market. Why Bitcoin is crashing right now. Q&A, Armenian genocide dispute. Florida farmers struggling with citrus greening disease. Techniques used by Russian hackers revealed. Smoke fills Boston subway train car. Coronavirus deaths going in right direction, CDC director says. Housing supply shortage intensifies, driving prices up 18%. Lidl voted a top 3 U.S. supermarket in USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards. Dominic Cummings launches attack on Boris Johnson. Penn National Gaming Incorporated. Moody's changes Penn National's outlook to stable from negative, affirms B1 CFR. Simone Biles leaves Nike for Gap's Athleta brand, your ultimate guide to grilling products in 2021, including discounts on our favorite grills and accessories. Flight attendant reveals secret reason they greet you on plane. Chester Zoo blind penguin has surgery to save sight. The seas must become India's opportunity region in the coming future, says the Navy chief. Google's earnings expected to be bright despite dark antitrust clouds. Fighting racism, one step at a time. EU urges member states to re-embrace AstraZeneca vaccine. Chinese companies are leading the global IPO rush amid a flight from uncertainty. Addenbrooke's hospitals destroyed helipad site back in use. Inovio sinks 26% after U.S. government decides to discontinue funding for next phase of COVID-19 vaccine trial. Eno, Rut, AM Best revises outlooks to negative for members of GeoVir Insurance Group. Veteran crypto investor explains why he is so bullish on Solana and Ethereum. Lessons learned from a midlife venture into business ownership. Oscar 2021. What dishes can accompany the best films? Bacanora Lithium continues to look overvalued on fundamentals. Hilltop Holdings Incorporated's HTH CEO Jeremy Ford on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Investors may have to tune out noise from pandemic booms and busts as they gauge earnings reports, evaluating CAF's CLM rights offering will delay next distribution cut. H.C. Wainwright stick to their buy rating for Coherus Biosciences by investing.com. EU chiefs to meet Biden during President's NATO summit trip. Can U.S. stock indices still go higher? Schlumberger Limited, SLB, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. EBSB leads financial gainers, Xife and Grow the only losers. PG&E wins initial regulator okay to securitize $7.5 billion of wildfire costs. New internet illusion, shiny or painted legs? Oklahoma fugitive may have had a hit list. Full video, Donald Trump's speech on problems of inner cities. UK solar projects using panels from firms linked to Xinjiang forced labor. Martha Stewart is releasing her 99th cookbook. NYC school responds after head of school caught on tape admitting equity curricula demonizes white people. FOP president slams insane rhetoric from Joy Behar after Ohio shooting. Honeywell's first quarter earnings and revenue top expectations. Pound sterling to US dollar weekly forecast. Taper tantrum? Powell may push sterling off the cliff. What sports bettors must be aware of when it comes to trends. Biden to talk climate change awareness at very non-green drive-in rally. ServiceNow named a leader in the 2021 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Enterprise Agile Planning Tools. Alpaca launches broker API that lets you build your own Robinhood. Investicom partners with a leading LEO constellation operator to virtualize its user terminal waveform. French police worker stabbed in terrorist attack near Paris. Baker Hughes oil rig count 343 versus 344 last week. Paxos becomes third federally regulated crypto bank. CoinDesk, 1026. New polls show tightening race between Clinton, Trump, fighting racism, one step at a time. The New York Times is readying a big newsletter push as Substack tries to poach its top writers. NYT, Shopify, TSX Shop, stock could explode because of social media. UK on track for Australia trade deal in June after major breakthroughs. John Najarian sees unusual option activity in Walmart and PogSeguro Digital. Republican senator claims there's no reason to be pushing COVID vaccines. Bitcoin and many other coins have taken serious stumbles. Weird Apple design, spring-loaded edition. Stewart Partners completes Umpqua Investments acquisition. Grand Canyon University vaccination site to cease operations on April 26. Public notice, key wall closure at St. Andrews Lock and Dam. Rix.GG announces Lightning Valorant roster. Ticks carrying disease found to be abundant in beach areas, similar to woodlands, according to new study. Global Drone in a Box Market Report 2020 competitive profiles of 15 key players. To celebrate the arrival of F9 in theaters June 25, Universal Pictures announces Fast Friday's 8 weeks of free nationwide screenings of every previous Fast and Furious film. Respected former military leader joins Trident University International's Military Advisory Committee. Real estate industry report. HomeSmart among the top 10 most successful brokerages in 2020. Capstar Financial Holdings Incorporated 2021 Q1 results. Earnings call presentation. Freight Car America leads industrial gainers. Montrose Environmental only loser. Jefferies sees massive upside in 3 entertainment stocks. Super League backer JP Morgan admits it misjudged reaction from fans. Full video. Trump holds runway rally in North Carolina. Russian troops start withdrawing from Ukrainian border. Kim Kardashian facing backlash after 60 Minutes interview. Latest from 2016 campaign trail in the home stretch. Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart to host show together. State Representative Kevin West, being disruptive while protesting hurts BLM cause. Just 1 week left to save $100 on TC Early Stage 2021, Marketing and Fundraising. Critical race theory is infecting schools with dangerous rhetoric. Ian Pryor. Navajo Nation could be first in U.S. to achieve herd immunity. Pilot arrested for suspected drunkenness. Rangers. Slavia's Andre Kudela appeals 10-game racism ban after Kamara incident. Impact of email hacks on Clinton campaign. Latest polls. GOP capitalizes on rising costs of Obamacare. Hacking reveals new questions about Clinton Foundation and Bill Clinton. Rigel Pharmaceuticals, escalating value drivers improve upside potential. S&P 500 snaps back up to the top side. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla tweets about future vaccine deliveries to Canada. Look inside a glass-walled McDonald's. That's one of the most beautiful fast food restaurants in the world. Honeywell International, HON, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. Kimberly-Clark Corp., KMB, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. Hilltop Holdings Incorporated, HTH, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. US dollar snaps back on good data. FOMC next week. US drilling rig count edges lower by 1, Baker Hughes says. One house in the Hamptons reportedly rented for $2 million for the summer, as a home shortage pushes vacation rental prices higher. Look inside a glass-walled McDonald's. That's one of the most beautiful fast food restaurants in the world. The Tina trade wins again. Three stocks growing earnings faster than sales. Alcoa Corp. A.A. President, CEO and Director Roy Christopher Harvey sold $7.8 million of shares. Auto dealer suing competitor to try to stop sales of recalled cars. Aecon Group reports steady revenue growth in 1Q. Inside the battle to stop attacks by Russian hackers. Fancy Bear. With the ESL, football fans have shown how to take on corporate power and win. Owen Jones, pilot arrested for allegedly being intoxicated before flight. The Guardian view on Modi's mistakes, a pandemic that is out of control. Editorial, The Guardian view on Russia's opposition, given hell, but not giving up. Editorial. Shopify is losing nearly half of its C-suite, including key tech leadership. Analysts worry about what it means for its $1 billion plan to take the fight to Amazon. All your questions about a fourth stimulus check answered. What voters want as 2016 race wraps up. Impact of early voting on 2016 race. Why polls differ. County Bancorp Incorporated, ICBK, Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Split announces strong growth in Q1 FY21. Tesla is being outsold in China by this $4,500 car. 3 tips for leading your team back to the office. 5 ways lean teams can work smarter and get more done. Zendy wins 2021 Edison Awards Gold Medal. Theater critics should consider their ethnicity and privilege, says Equity. The best mattress sales happening in April 2021, including deals on Dream Cloud, Lisa. And Casper, Insider Cannabis, New York Cannabis Gold Rush, Atai's going public, House passes the SAFE Act, again. Man fatally shot in front of stepson after pointing gun at cops, body cam video. What Rangers' Sedano Kara pursuit reveals about their needs this offseason. Fundamentals for high-yield issuers are quite good despite low rates, Vanguard's head of fixed income says. Mysterious new grocery store in Connecticut could be a fully automated Amazon supermarket. India restricts American Express from adding new customers for violating data storage rules. The net effect: the entrepreneurs putting greenhouse gas offset at the heart of their business models. Burning Man might return this year. If it does, vaccines may be required. How a group of NYU girls turned roasting tech guys on Clubhouse into a money-making business. North American Mobile Asset Management Market Report 2020-2025. Asset management as a service to capture new markets and increase profitability. DeFi Technologies announces ticker symbol change from RDNAV to DEFT on OTC markets effective April 23, 2021. Issues that matter. Margaret Spellings on education. Employee wellness programs raise privacy concerns. A trio of stocks with low 12-month and forward PEG ratios. Some Democrats push for permanent expansion of unemployment benefits. Beyond 2021, why infinite reinvention is key to digital transformation. S&P index trades to new session highs. Earnings calendar next week is full of key releases. Breakfast takes a wild turn when deer dashes through restaurant. The obvious question that remains unanswered in the U.S. Capitol attack: more money has flowed into the stock market over the last 5 months than in the past 12 years. According to Bank of America, Biden wants to hit wealthy Americans with new tax hikes to fund childcare and education. Here's what it could mean for you. Seacoast Banking Corporation of Florida, SBCF, CEO Chuck Schaffer on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. U.S. has more than 9 million Johnson & Johnson doses ready to go if pause lifts. Face the nation on presidential attributes. How will President Obama defend Obamacare after the sudden price hike? Russia puts widely read news site on foreign agents list. How early voting is impacting the election. Hacked emails reveal Clinton Foundation staff pressured donors. Incyte announces new ruxolitinib data from atopic dermatitis and vitiligo studies. Biden wants to hit wealthy Americans with new tax hikes to fund childcare and education. Here's what it could mean for you. White House brushes off Thursday stock market drop after reports of Biden push for capital gains tax hike. Most active copper futures mark highest settlement since August 2011. Panasonic to acquire remaining 80% Blue Yonder stake for $7.1 billion. Panasonic acquires Blue Yonder for $7.1 billion. Martin Wade, CEO Grindrod Shipping Holdings, featured today in Capital Link's video podcast series Riding the Waves of a Lifetime. Insights names Elenu Soren Chief Marketing Officer, full strike set at Port of Montreal. SVB hits record after best quarter helps it give even better outlook. Kennedy Wilson is trading near fair value. Grupo I report Mario del Sureste, S. A. B. to C. V. ASR, CEO Adolfo Castro on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, FPA Crescent Fund cuts Jefferies Financial, Alphabet, Reliant Bancorp declares 12-cent dividend, tech execs will head to Senate for hearing on content algorithms, how to get a refund from PayPal. Tobar, a promising early pure play on mitochondrial-based therapeutics, this week on Face the Nation, April 25, 2021. Steelers Justin Lane arrested after police find loaded gun during traffic stop, reports. Jeff Fairburn could cash in again after Rob on Holmes takeover. Pret a Manger scraps dividend as COVID closures hit sales. Mattel shares rise on strong toy sales in first quarter. FX Wire Pro, Euro to Australian dollar set for increasing upside potential, 1.5650 beckons. Leaked emails show controversial Clinton Foundation payments. John Heilemann on Trump's climb in the polls. Trump and Clinton controversies continue to dominate 2016 race. Australian dollar to US dollar edges higher towards 0.7750, stays on track to end week flat. Trump criticizes Mosul offensive in new line of attacks. From 1989, Bill Geist, long-suffering Cubs fan. Shareholder alert. Robbins LLP is investigating Clover Health Investments, Corp. CLOV, on behalf of shareholders. Dr. Christian Chesson honestly believed Arlene Foster a fair claim. Walgreens Boots Alliance announces the pricing terms of its tender offer for certain outstanding debt securities. First Financial Bancorp's FFBC CEO Archie Brown on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Moderna's vaccine has been a success. Buy the stock because there's more coming in its pipeline. Four top TSX stocks to outperform the benchmark index in 2021. Frog trading halt, center.
I had taken a gold trade at pre-market and I forgot to record that, so I couldn't really cover that trade here, but
Crypto for the long term. What's the outlook? Shareholder alert. Pomerantz law firm investigates claims on behalf of investors of Peloton Interactive Incorporated. What's going on with Xilinx, Broadcom and Applied Materials today? Kansas City Southern pairs gains as U.S. lawmaker warns on proposed railroad deal. Gender reveal explosion rocks homes, cracks house foundation. Wide moat stocks on sale. The May 2021 heat map. Biden's infrastructure plans spike SEV's interest in Americans. Cars.com survey. Global inline dimensional metrology equipment market, 2019 to 2025 with 2020 as the base year. Growth opportunities in digital twins, increasing AI, additive manufacturing, EVs, robots. 72 Capital's Hunt Valley office continues growth trajectory with Ameriprise Advisors. Carousel Circa knee reviews, knee compression sleeve launched. Ledyard Financial declares 20 cents dividend. Proactive North America headlines including Tetra Biopharma, Naturally Splendid Enterprises, Energy Fuels, Fans Unite Entertainment and Cytodyne. Here's what the stock market rotation really looks like. This teenager's painted nails got him suspended. Now his Texas school district has created a more gender-neutral dress code policy. 3D photo shoot brings Space Shuttle Discovery to life. Why Spirit Airlines stock is up today. Interprivate 3 Financial Partners Incorporated announces the separate trading of its common stock and warrants, commencing April 26, 2021. Treasure hunter reportedly finds $46,000 under floorboards in Massachusetts home. Sneak peek. Bad boy, get ready for another polar vortex. Could Puerto Rican voters in Florida swing the state in Clinton's favor? Arby's cooks up venison sandwiches in select locations. Message in a bottle shows up 56 years after it was sent. Halftime report final trades. Apple, Petrobras and more. Zoom meetings. Counselors disqualified for missing a year of sessions. Compagnie Lombard, Odier SCA buys Adobe Incorporated. Abbott Laboratories, Intellia Therapeutics Incorporated, Patent Incorporated by Citigroup Incorporated, Hilton Worldwide Holdings Incorporated, General Motors Company, Sheet Smith Wealth Management buys Bristol Myers Squibb Company, iShares Core MSCI Total, Cedar Mountain Advisors, LLC buys Boeing Company, Alibaba Group Holding, Beyond Meat Incorporated, sells, U.S. Global Investors Incorporated buys United Airlines Holdings Incorporated, Delta Airlines Incorporated, Mace Air Group, Winthrop Advisory Group LLC buys iShares Core S&P Total US, Liquid Strategies, LLC buys Vanguard Short-Term Corporate Bond ETF, iShares Core S&P, Keeler Thomas Management LLC buys Amazon, Broadleaf Partners, LLC buys Tesla Incorporated, Arista Networks Incorporated, Schlumberger, sells The Home Depot, Summit Financial Wealth Advisors, LLC buys U.S., Onion Global begins U.S. IPO rollout, William Blair reaffirms their buy rating on Autolus Therapeutics, AUTL. William Blair remains a buy on Bristol Myers, BMY, Wedbush believes Amazon, AMZN, won't stop here, analysts offer insights on healthcare companies, Translate Bio, TBIO, and Dynavax, DVAX. How to install Windows 10 onto a new computer using a USB drive. Amid border surge, DHS planning to increase number of migrants released into U.S. Texas sheriff says smugglers overwhelming deputies. We can't sustain this. Queen Elizabeth knows things will come right in the end for her family despite personal drama, source says. Yankees scout Anibal Sanchez in desperate need of rotation help. NY Paul says it stings after the Post reveals his school zone speeding. Jury acquits Extinction Rebellion protesters despite no defense in law. Jack and the Bean Counters, a woke children's story. Biden to visit UK in June for first overseas trip as president. The euro was the top dog this week in the FX market and it's at a fresh 7-week high. Longevity startup Longevica plans to launch supplements based on long-term research. Ongseo, publication of the 2020 annual financial report. Should you give an anchor investor a stake in your fund's management company? Biden's pledge to slash U.S. emissions turns spotlight on China. XTB posts 121.3% cut gain in profits. Client figures hit record. Freedonia analyst comments on Solmax's pending acquisition of 10K Geosynthetics, combining two leaders in the global geosynthetics industry. Where are Clinton and Trump spending the most time? On the road to somewhere, back in BlackBerry, Trump, Clinton fight for battleground states, central Italy rocked by powerful earthquakes. Post-Cummings quiet life goes to pot as number 10 sources leak in brief. Edgemont Union Free SD, Greenberg, NY. Moody's upgrades Edgemont Union Free School District New York's issuer and Gould to A1 from A to. Dow Jones rallies as stocks rebound. Apple stock rises as Intel dives. Bitcoin play sinks. Anthony Bourdain documentary Roadrunner set for summer. Italy's 5 stars split with core direct democracy platform. How to watch the 2021 Academy Awards without cable. Apollo Commercial Real Estate Finance Incorporated, ARI, CEO Stuart Rothstein on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Teva launches generic version of Kasana in the US. The 5 most powerful partnerships you can have to achieve your goals. Really? The market will collapse by end of June? Weekend reads, How Berkshire Hathaway Can Thrive Even Without Warren Buffett. Longevity startup Longevica plans to launch supplements based on long-term research. TechCrunch, rescue teams in race against time to find lost Indonesian Navy submarine. The T. Rowe Price Equity Income Fund cuts DuPont. State Street. Three reasons to be bearish on Intel despite a new CEO and a $20 billion semiconductor production plan, according to Bank of America. Wedbush maintains a buy rating on Verona Pharma, VRNA. Emerges revenue more than doubles in fiscal 2020. Shares pop 6%. Earnings previews. General Electric, Tesla, UPS. TransAlta Renewables, a rare value play in the ESG space, DC statehood, why it should, and should not, happen. France not doing enough to tackle climate change, court rules.
Centered.
Three reasons to be bearish on Intel despite a new CEO and a $20 billion semiconductor production plan, according to Bank of America, INTC, AMD, Apple, AMZN. These 6 restaurant chains skyrocketed in growth during the pandemic and now are courting new franchisees. Here's what it takes to open and run a Pollo Loco, Jack in the Box, Noodles, and Company. These 6 restaurant chains skyrocketed in growth during the pandemic and now are courting new franchisees. Here's what it takes to open and run an El Pollo Loco, Jack in the Box, Noodles, and Company, and others. Apple unveils upgraded MacBook. 5-year-old boy catches the tooth fairy. Can a paperclip tell you who you really are? US dollar to Japanese yen to dip to 107.00 on a 1-month view. Rabobank, HubSpot stock advances on new product rollout with earnings ahead. Fed holds rates near zero. Here's what that means for your wallet. Coach sucker punches parent in chaotic video from youth football game. Xilinx update. The property block proves that startups can succeed with a social conscience. Toilet paper sales plunge as price hikes scare the ST out of consumers. YouTube makes it easier to save on data with new video resolution options. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong sold large block of stock. Copper prices post highest finish in more than 9 years. Biden administration's $50 billion to help end chip shortage is a great first step, Intel CEO. Century Communities announces model grand opening at Deerbrook in Leander, Texas. E-commerce tracking firm after ship lands $66 million funding round. Is Shopify the next Amazon? Kathy Woods thinks so. Johnson & Johnson, management raises guidance, looks to ignite growth. Why Bloom Energy stock rose today? Viewpoint, CPKCS merger makes sense, CN takeover does not. Black woman accuses police of tearing rotator cuff during stop. Are skinny ties on their way out? Full video. Donald Trump says Clinton too hard on Putin, claims she unleashed ISIS on world. Preview. In God's name. Full video. Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama campaign together in North Carolina. Preview. The music of Zomba Prison. Mom's powerful message after daughter dies from flu. Billionaire Mark Cuban is betting big on NFTs. Extends buy and hold strategy. United States Baker Hughes U.S. oil rig count down to 343 from previous 344. PMIs paint a positive picture with U.S. streaking ahead. Capital Economics. William Blair commentary, stabilizing U.S. Treasury yields help PMD returns. AZZ Incorporated, AZZ, Q4 2021 earnings call transcript, analysis, oilfield services, lots to like beneath the surface, COVID-19, salons and outdoor attractions reopen in NE. Bitcoin sells off on capital gains and regulation fears. Employees wear no quinoa shirts at Travis Kalanick's startup to stave off a coddled work culture. Bitcoin peer-to-peer trading in Nigeria rises 27% since central bank's ban. Oppenheimer issues a buy rating on Inovio Pharmaceuticals, INO. French officials open terror probe after police officer fatally stabbed, attacker shot dead. Ted Cruz on DC statehood, HR 1 and court packing. Dems' top priority is power forever. NC police identify man suspected of killing 7-year-old in road rage incident. Latin American startups that are creating solutions in the agri-tech and food tech sectors are sought. Dow jumps as bulls shrug off tax hike jitters, swoop in on financials. Tech, crypto market takes a dive with Bitcoin leading the way. TechCrunch, McEnany praises Georgia mother for speaking out on mask mandates for children. Jen Psaki offered shocking response to Ohio police shooting. Steve Hilton, more Americans say they are cutting the cord these days. Outmanned ISIS deploying suicide bombers as forces close in on Mosul. American explains why he turned to ISIS. Cliff Kingsbury mocks Sean McVay over the Rams' NFL draft mansion. Mason-Dixon poll. Americans reject court packing. RoboSense teams up with WebOsto on smart roof module with integrated MIMS LiDAR. Boy stabbed to death in Newham, East London. Why plug power stock just popped again. Post office scandal. Salford man missed seeing dying father. Elon Musk says a 2024 moon landing is doable, and SpaceX's mega rocket could fly humans in a couple years. U.S. offers to lift sanctions on Iran's central bank, oil and shipping, crypto market takes a dive with Bitcoin leading the way. Ron Johnson downplays urgency of getting COVID-19 vaccine. Group of Texas students disciplined after they pretended to auction black classmates in social media group chat. Otis Worldwide Q1 2021 earnings preview. Tesla Q1 2021 earnings preview. Shelter dogs let loose for a run. Research trial examines hormonal birth control for men. Move trade of the week. Stay long Australian dollar to US dollar. More blood clot cases following Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine reported. North Carolina police shooting. Attorney to push judge for release of body camera footage. Fort Bend company levy improv. District 19, TX. Moody's assigns A2 to Fort Bend County Levy Improvement District 19, TX's Gold, SARE. 2021, outlook stable. Sentient Energy announces partnership with manufacturer's sales representative Pacific Utilities, Kites Yescarta, Axicaptogene Silolucel, reimbursed in Alberta for the treatment of certain types of aggressive non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Global Vaccine Contract Manufacturing Market Report 2021, subunit vaccines accounted for a major share of approx 34% in 2020, forecast to 2026, inspiration awaits at Gibbs Gardens. DoubleVerify announces closing of initial public offering and concurrent private placement, including full exercise of underwriter's option to purchase additional shares. Kindred Healthcare and Palomar Health announce opening of Palomar Health Rehabilitation Institute. Sentient Energy announces partnership with manufacturer's sales representative Curtis Stout. Tomi Lahren, fake news media thinks people believe charade about peaceful protests. Top 3 consumer discretionary stocks to look out for in 2021. Cathie Wood continues to stockpile Palo Tone stock. NioCorp closes on purchase of key Nebraska land parcel for the Elk Creek Superalloy Materials project. White woman caught on video harassing black soldiers at IHOP. Pence campaign plane skids off LaGuardia runway. Why did the U.S. rank so low for gender equality? DoubleVerify announces closing of initial public offering and concurrent private placement, including full exercise of underwriter's option to purchase additional shares. Engineered earworms on TikTok aren't that far off from disinfo campaigns. How should Joe Biden handle Vladimir Putin? Microsoft's cloud leadership can let its stock soar higher. Three simple ways to change the background color of your Instagram story. HuffPost slammed as propaganda, stupid liars for claiming Republicans engaged in court packing. Video shows black soldiers harassed at Virginia restaurant. SEG after agreement falls short of solving pay, benefits gap for influencers. Mellow Warehouse Securitization Trust 2021-2. Moody's assigns definitive ratings to Mellow Warehouse Securitization Trust 2021-2. Guangdong Ling Pump Industry Company stock is believed to be significantly overvalued. Exelon stock appears to be fairly valued. What caused Pence's plane to skid off the runway? Eyewitness describes the Pence plane incident. Mike Pence's plane skids off NYC runway. Full video. Trump bashes Clintons for email revelations. Michelle Obama hits the road with Hillary Clinton. First Source selects 2 new members to its board of directors. Young Living named to top 10 of direct selling News Global 100 list, /CORRECTION. The House on Sunset / Mike Pence's campaign plane skids off runway. La Harris Technologies declares quarterly dividend. An Indonesian submarine has been missing for days. Here's what makes it so hard to find. FDA approves ADC's biologic Zymelinda for B-cell lymphoma. Inovio keeps its perfect track record. Kimberly-Clark Corporation, KMB, CEO Michael Hsu on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. First Hawaiian Incorporated, FHB, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. BTCS Incorporated, BTCS, CEO, CFO Charles W. Allen bought $40 million of shares. FX Wire Pro, Euro to New Zealand dollar uptrend gains momentum, as positive sentiment builds. How $4.2 billion JP Morgan-backed soccer venture ended up a giant mea culpa. Thiessen, U.S. would have to destroy its economy to reach Biden's carbon emissions goal. Feds concerned about election day violence. Apple stock buybacks, dividend hike could be sugar on top for March quarter. SolarEdge Technologies stock shines bright with rising relative strength. The psychology of a stock market bubble. Audio from air traffic control from Pence's plane incident. CNET Tech Talk. Microsoft versus Apple. Twitter kills Vine. At career's end, maybe we should embrace anti-retirement. 1027. Hack email raises question about Clinton Foundation activity. Shelter dogs let loose for a run. Top-rated stocks near pivot at earnings. Tempur Sealy International. Artiva Biotherapeutics aims for $100 million U.S. IPO. County Bancorp Incorporated 2021 Q1 results. Earnings call presentation. Global Hepatitis C in vitro diagnostics tests market report 2021. Total procedures, units, average selling prices and market values 2015 to 2030. Autoliv Incorporated 2021 Q1 results. Earnings call presentation. Brett Perlman on blackouts and the future of Texas energy. Moody's assigns provisional ratings to 9 classes of debt to be issued by Dryden 88 Euro CLO 2020 DAC. Black hole dubbed the unicorn may be galaxy's smallest one. Tesla vehicles said to be prevented from accessing Guangzhou Highway. CDC looking at whether masks are still needed outdoors. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount to NAV hits record as Bitcoin retreats. Arsenal v Everton, Premier League, live. Oppenheimer maintains a hold rating on FactSet Research. FDS, Aprea Therapeutics, APRE, receives a buy from Bernberg Bank. Two of the best Canadian growth stocks to buy right now. County Championship, Glamorgan on top at North Ents despite Adam Rosington resistance. World Snooker Championship 2021, Mark Williams controversial break-off shot. Werewolf Therapeutics rolls out $100 million IPO plan. How Honolulu's Uliapono initiative is helping Hawaii fight hunger, invest in clean transportation and housing, and become carbon neutral by 2045. AM Best assigns credit ratings to Hospitals Insurance Company Incorporated, ScissorX, largest publicly traded Ethereum mining company in U.S., talks merger, government contracts, Web 3.0. The top 9 movies on Netflix this week. From Synchronic to Rush, Mattel stock briefly pops as Barbie sales prove to be unstoppable. DOJ charges dozens in IRS impersonation case. Donald Trump slams Clintons over Bill Clinton Incorporated memo. Bill Clinton Incorporated memo ties Bill Clinton's wealth to foundation. Lufthansa Cargo begins modernizing Frankfurt warehouse. Bristol Myers Psoriasis med deucravacitinib superior to Amgen's Otezla. New data shows, Chadwick Boseman tribute NFT auction to benefit the Colon Cancer Foundation. Kansas City Southern gains on report that Canadian national offer will be declared superior. Freeport MC Moran, a ticket to participate in 600% growth opportunity. Yara International ASA 2021 Q1, results, earnings call presentation, major European markets close week. Philips Q1 2021 earnings preview. Pence on runway scare at NYC airport, violence potential on election day. VP nominee Mike Pence's plane skids off runway in NYC, U.S. sending aircraft carrier, B-52s to aid Afghan withdrawal. Johnson named Dean of UWG's Richards College of Business. COVID, Scotland's our number falls for first time in 4 weeks. Democrats find their star in down ballot ads. Donald Trump. U.S. COVID deaths, cases drop as WH unveils new social media vaccine campaign. Drew Lock uncertainty turns Broncos into huge NFL draft wildcard. Full video. Trump addresses supporters after Pence's plane skids off runway. Ex-NSA contractor may have compromised foreign intelligence officers. India's hospitals beg for oxygen as country sets COVID record. Warby Parker is staffing up its corporate team with an eye towards public company readiness. State lawmaker rips disruptive BLM protesters for storming Oklahoma Capitol over anti-riot bill. Mortal Kombat star Lewis Tan talks movies insane stunts, so many different crazy action scenes. Tax fears ebb, another solid round of U.S. data, oil rebounds, gold drops, TFSA investors, one TSX right to boost your tax-free income today, CME, Moody's, MSCI make sense as potential FDS acquirers, Oppenheimer says, Bank of Hawaii Q1 2021 earnings preview, Seacoast Banking Corp of Florida, SBCF, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript, why American Airlines stock is higher today. Capital gains tax hike. Why the U.S. stock market bounced back so fast. ByteDance ditches IPO plans for the time being, SCMP. Early 40 Stevens on growing a spirits empire in a pandemic, investing early in Clubhouse, and how Abrazu's appearance propelled his business, housing market 2020 winners and losers, and a few surprises. Forbes Advisor, mid-afternoon market update, Nasdaq surges 1.5%, EDAP shares plunge, new research shows promise in male birth control, CDC discusses resuming Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine use, VP Biden, Clinton didn't understand gravity of private email server, why The Atlantic endorsed Hillary Clinton, 60 Minutes examines effects of marijuana on body, presidential candidates show little love for spectator states like Oklahoma, more than 140 arrests at violent Dakota Access Pipeline protests, Chile's coin, CHC, is winning in 2021 cryptocurrency markets, CoinDesk, Hillary Clinton turns to Michelle Obama to energize voters. Canada reaches deal with Pfizer for vaccines in future years. The Rockefeller Foundation expands rapid result COVID-19 testing program to reopen K-12 schools in Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area. 3 top-notch dividend stocks with yields over 5%. BSC dusts Ethereum's daily transaction by 600%. Emissions data now available online for the waste-to-energy facility in Chester, Pennsylvania. Global Type 1 Diabetes Drug Market Analysis Report 2021 to 2029. Veteran players use various strategies to defend insulin franchises from biosimilar erosion. San Antonio partners pioneer surgery aimed at reversing type 2 diabetes. Reverse mortgages, how they work and who they're good for. Forbes Advisor. Americans are clear, don't pack the Supreme Court. 5 Below, FIVE, receives a buy from Oppenheimer. The splendor of fall foliage at Great Smoky Mountains. Kamala Harris ripped by New Hampshire GOP for visiting wrong border. CDC recommends COVID-19 vaccine during pregnancy. Swiss market ends modestly lower after lackluster session. Ryan Giggs charged with assault of 2 women and coercive and controlling behavior. Smithsonian announces reopening dates for 7 museums in the National Zoo. Chernobyl radiation effects have not been passed on to next generation. Study finds. Loose Idea, developer of Archive Era CMS, to sponsor Virtual SCA 2021, the International Powder and Bulk Solids (IPS) Conference and Exhibition announces the return of a 2021 in-person conference and launch of new community site, Powder Show Connect. American Express Company, AXP, CEO Steve Squeri on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Our bullish conviction is now lower. JPM joins major banks turning bearish on easy market gains. Roche, Abvai, Bristol Myers are latest to win European Medicines Agency's CHMP positive opinion. Yerg trades near April high. Low-wage Asian and Latinx workers struggled to get COVID-19 information and didn't feel comfortable reporting symptoms, survey finds. Inside the vacant Florida mansion, a couple crashed for their wedding. Preview: The Potboat, Lucy Liu and Johnny Lee Miller on 5th season of Elementary. Could an accidental call to 911 be clue in cold case? White Bay Area officer kills black man within a minute of encounter. First Energy in talks on deferred prosecution agreement. ADC Therapeutics announces FDA approval of Sylenta, loncastuximab tesirine in relapsed or refractory diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. Daimler gains after raising outlook. Boom in Chinese demand for Mercedes. What is Goodreads? Everything you need to know about the popular site for readers and book recommendations. Closer. Final days of 2016 race. Rekor Systems, REKR, is leveraging AI to make roads safer. Kristen Smart's parents sue dad of murder suspect for allegedly hiding her body. Fact check. Tom Cotton suggested Stacey Abrams endorsed a boycott of Georgia. She opposed it. Hilton slams Jen Psaki for offering wokist ideology after Ohio police shooting. Frog trade resumption, AWR. Aberdare, buyers queue overnight to get new homes. 14-year-old boy knifed to death in East London in broad daylight. U.S. economy regains momentum, and other Money Watch headlines. 3 signs that it's time to start your own company. How the Teal Pumpkin Project hopes to change Halloween. Defying expectations, people with autism embrace sports. From 2010, Cleveland baseball loving nun. New York City mayoral candidate Eric Adams talks crime and police reform. Cybersecurity Zscaler stock earns 81 RS rating, boosts cloud protection with trust owned by U.S. fintech Unify Money unveils premium investment choice credit card with rewards paid as crypto, gold or equity. The Fed is unlikely to hint at policy changes next week, even with a stronger economy. Should stimulus checks be permanent? An increasing number of people, and Democrats, think so. International media confirms pullout of Russian troops from Crimea and Ukraine border. Should stimulus checks be permanent? An increasing number of people, and Democrats, think so. Checkpoint Software Technologies Q1 2021 earnings preview. WSFS Financial Corporation, WSFS, management on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, oil futures gain for the session, fall for the week. SIL floats 2 new subsidiaries to pursue alternative energy projects. NYC dad who pulled daughter from elite school over anti-racist teachings has advice for parents. A Nevada man sentenced to death tells court he'd rather die by firing squad than lethal injection. Columbus shooting illustrates how police grapple with politics of releasing body camera footage. No, the new iMac isn't ugly. The design and colors are a breath of fresh air. The law offices of Frank R. Cruz announces investigation of Tattoo Chef Incorporated, TTCF, on behalf of investors. Derek Chauvin sentencing date set for June after murder conviction. Copper hits 9-year high on infrastructure, green energy plans. Want to buy a vineyard? Do it for the passion, not the economics. Blockchain outfit Paxos scores provisional trust charter. How are the WikiLeaks email dumps impacting the polls? Here's why The Atlantic has made a rare presidential endorsement. Scary moments aboard Mike Pence's plane. Trump, just cancel the election and make me the winner. Mike Pence's plane skids off New York runway. Hillary Clinton puts Joe Biden on short list for Secretary of State. SWIC Finance, Moody's affirms SWIC Baa2 ratings. Outlook changed to stable from negative. Pitt Park, Stephen Matthews bail change to coach Dunahudi FC. UK spy chief says warns West faces moment of reckoning over tech. August breaks above the 100-hour MA. Ethereum's rally to all-time high above $2,600 cut short by crypto market correction. Family, man fatally shot by Dallas police had mental illness. Joy Behar apologizes for using wrong pronouns when discussing Caitlyn Jenner. U.S. lawmaker introduces bill to restore FTC ability to get money back from scammers. Charles Barkley under fire for comparing Georgia women to bulldogs. RBI takes action against Amex for breaking Indian data storage rules. Science is fairly clear when it comes to outdoor mask wearing, so Ave. Roche Holding AG, RHHVF, receives a buy from Goldman Sachs. Beloved Japanese gaming store Super Potato has opened an eBay shop. FBI learns of new emails in Hillary Clinton investigation. Joe Biden discusses his decision not to run in 2016 and his future. Donald Trump's team reportedly working on voter suppression efforts. Doctors work on a birth control shot for men. Kamala Harris greeted by protesters during NH trip to promote infrastructure. Sickview Family House at UNC Hospital celebrates opening of new wing. The nearest black hole to Earth ever seen is a tiny unicorn. CNET. A malaria vaccine from Oxford University just became the first to hit WHO's efficacy goal. Ethereum co-founder predicts Dogecoin bubble will burst anytime, blames Elon Musk. Donald Trump, I'm writing a $10 million check today. 5 trends for 2021 outdoor living season. Curb Your Enthusiasm star Richard Lewis reunites with Larry David for filming after surgeries. So grateful, House fines Rep. Clyburn for failing to pass through metal detectors. Tesla is facing a backlash from the Chinese government following an owner's protest over faulty brakes. TSLA. Trump advisor on FBI's Clinton email probe. Donald Trump comments on FBI Clinton email probe. Will New York's summer fashion include bare faces? Better than Coinbase, the best cryptocurrency to buy now. We the voters, how can one politician make a difference? We the voters, why does everyone need to vote? Gentex Corporation, GNTX, CEO Steve Downing on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. China switches gears on Bitcoin, seems to be pro-crypto. Ameris Bancorp, ABCB, CEO Palmer Proctor Jr. on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Celanese Corporation, CEO Lori Ryerkirk on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Microvision and Luminar Technologies among tech gainers, Intel and Blonder Tongue Laboratories among losers. Bringing Marvel content together means positive for Disney and Sony deal. Rosenblatt, Martin Rosen on David Cameron and the Greensill lobbying scandal. Cartoon, Albemarle settles dispute with Chile over reserves data. Reuters, Australian scientist Craig Wright claims creatorship of Bitcoin. Yankees vs Indians prediction, Bombers the pick, Love aims 5% market share in smartphone segment by year-end. WeWork partners with BitPay and Coinbase to offer cryptocurrency as form of payment. Grupo Televisa, SAB, TV, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript, Sensient Technologies Corp., SXT, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript, Rule Breaker Investing, two more investors tell their tales, Big Tech's algorithms are not colorblind, WTI crude oil futures settle at $62.14, Dow Jones rally led by Goldman Sachs, Apple, JP Morgan, chip stocks lead Nasdaq, Bitcoin breaches $50,000 level. Ghosts Review, Writing the Enslaved Back into Glasgow's Past, ICE ends Trump-era policy of fining undocumented immigrants, calling penalties ineffective. Full video, Trump speaks about FBI probe into Clinton's emails during NH rally, passenger on plane that caught fire talks about his escape, plane catches fire at Chicago's O'Hare Airport, new Clinton email case tied to Anthony Weiner, House Oversight Committee member on FBI email case, Mike Pence speaks out on FBI email probe, how Trump will take advantage of new emails in Clinton case. Tours of water recycling facility offer Southern Californians glimpse into potential drought-proof water supply, a technical look at Dogecoin's chart, Benzinga, Chakrana Institute's Sacred Plants in the Americas 2, Global Virtual Psychedelic Summit, April 23 to 25, 2021. CMG Media Agency and Beach Bash Music Fest present Summer Break Music Festival May 20th to 22nd in Panama City Beach, Florida, featuring Jack Harlow and 24K Golden. Tough Mother is back, with new and returning partners for 2021 global event season. National Braille Press First Braille Across America Challenge raises over $137,000. Exclusive, Site Center's CEO talks pandemic recovery on Power Hour. Lennox Q1 2021 earnings preview, Albertsons Company's FQ4 earnings preview, Alphabet swing in pursuit FAA relaxations for drone flight. "2021 should be a banner year for biotech startups that make smart choices early." TechCrunch. 10,000 march in Armenian capital to commemorate killings. Mexican union vote halted at GM plant. Vote fixing alleged. "2021 should be a banner year for biotech startups that make smart choices early." American Airlines jet evacuated in Chicago after fire. New Clinton-related emails could cause stumble on campaign trail. Whale of a time. NYC offers walk-up vaccinations for all. Trump reacts to FBI's Clinton probe. Timing of renewed Clinton FBI probe raises questions. New twist in Clinton's private email scandal rocks campaign. Harris Technologies declares $1.02 dividend. AT&T exploring sale of Rooster Teeth. Bloomberg, Disney World to power 40% of park with solar power. Tesla's autopilot can be tricked into working without a driver. Vanguard announces cash distributions for the Vanguard ETFs. VOB, VSB, VSC, VLB, VCB, VGB, BRIF, VRE, and VDY. Ankeny, City of, yeah. Moody's assigns on to Ankeny, Iowa's Go Bonds. Get to know the heroin companies and the practices you can implement to take care of your collaborators. Huntington Ingalls Industries Incorporated. Moody's announces completion of a periodic review of ratings of Huntington Ingalls Industries Incorporated. Textron Financial Corporation. Moody's announces completion of a periodic review of ratings of Textron Incorporated. Power Hour stocks to buy right now? 4 social media stocks to watch. Telework burnout and Zoom fatigue, much more complicated than they appear. FX Wire Pro, pound sterling to Australian dollar heads deeper into bear territory. Bears plotting path toward 1.7800. New Clinton emails found by FBI tied to Anthony Weiner sexting investigation. Political strategists on Clinton email investigation. Seagate at record high on strong results and guidance. A crucial Rangers experiment is just getting started. The 6 best fishing rods and reels of 2021, COVID crisis cases. SC allows Harish Salve to withdraw as amicus. India coronavirus crisis demonstrates risk of what can happen if pandemic isn't controlled, science says. No data linking COVID vaccines to menstrual changes, U.S. experts say. How to list and sell your books on Amazon. Chinese e-commerce giant Pinduoduo meets 80-plus relative strength rating benchmark. Dad finds samurai sword in Seattle homeless camp next to son's school. 6 rioters arrested for defacing Central Park Monument in NYC's latest peaceful protest. University of Maryland launches quantum business incubator. Jared races into a NASCAR sponsorship. Insights on the organic baby food global market to 2026, by product type, distribution channel and region, technicalities of modern life, overcoming hurdles along the path to new normal. Full video. Hillary Clinton rallies in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Some members of Oregon militia acquitted in federal trial. Bachelor party leads to adoption of 7 puppies. Rescue efforts intensify for missing Indonesian submarine. Biden's remarkable success on climate. Special Olympians and best friends take a stab. Halloween film. Impact of legalized marijuana. FBI reopening investigation into Clinton's emails. Special report. Hillary Clinton responds to renewed FBI probe. Oil down 1% or more on week as volatility returns pre-OPEC. NY teen charged with murder of senior man in attempted carjacking, prosecutor says. New York Times columnist Paul Krugman echoes paper by ignoring violence, praising protesters. Selena Gomez unveils platinum blonde hair as fans declare Blondalina is back. Treasuries close modestly lower following another lackluster session. Michigan sees 311% spike in COVID-19 hospitalizations among children. Six reasons the city premiere should be your go-to card for the pandemic and beyond. SpaceX's new astronaut crew brought a cute, fluffy penguin toy named Gwyn Gwyn into orbit. Extra Crunch Roundup, Clivio EC1, Micromobility's second wave, UiPath CFO interview, more. SVB Financial Group 2021 Q1 results, earnings call presentation, Canopy Growth, Supreme Deal raised more questions, Grupo Televisa, SAB, TV, management on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, Okugan announces $100 million worth direct offering of common stock. North Carolina lawmakers introduce bill to legalize recreational cannabis. What are push notifications? How the pop-up alerts sent by apps, devices, and browsers work. Florida Supreme Court rules cannabis legalization summary misleading, forcing restart of prominent ballot initiative. 1028. New twist in Clinton's private email scandal rocks campaign. Special Olympians and best friends take a stab at Halloween film. Trump campaign seizes on Clinton email investigation. Clinton calls on FBI to release all information on emails. Impact Rankings 2021 recognize Westcliff University's outstanding performance. Bedgear, Ashley Home Store and Dallas Mavericks donate breathable bedding products to ensure Dallas Fire Department Station No. 8 responders wake ready. Com 2012 CCRE1 Mortgage Trust. Moody's downgrades 156 classes and places 15 classes under review for possible downgrade issued by 37 U.S. conduit commercial mortgage-backed securities. Bank OZK, CEO George Gleason on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, WSFS Financial Corporation 2021 Q1, results, earnings call presentation. Woman plunges 250 feet from overlook at Georgia State Park, a technical look at Dogecoin's chart. Facebook's digital ad revenue just keeps rolling in despite antitrust threat. APR versus interest rate, knowing the difference can save you money. Forbes advisor. Unite Here Local 11 applauds Oscar-nominated director Aaron Sorkin, Nicole Kidman, Javier Bardem, and SAG-AFTRA for pulling major film project from the Chateau Marmont. Match vs. Bumble. I have made up my mind, Scott Galloway. There are 3 dangerous threats facing our nation right now, and the pandemic has made them all worse. Full speech. Donald Trump rallies in Iowa. The Price is Right still making history. Hillary Clinton email case reopened. 48 hours preview. Bad boy. Buy alert, 3 TSX stocks that could gain up to 40% in the next year. FX wire pro pound sterling to New Zealand dollar extends drop, faces 38.2% VIP support. Market levels just plain stupid. FBI reviewing new emails in Clinton investigation. Norwegian climber first to test positive for COVID on Mount Everest. Remains of black teen killed in Philadelphia police bombing used in online class. Joe Biden's proposal to double capital gains tax rate shakes financial markets. AMMC CLO 13, Limited, Moody's, no adverse rating impact on the Class A2LR notes, the Class B1LR notes, the Class B2L1R notes, the Class B2L2R notes and the Class BLR notes issued by AMMC, Wells Fargo Commercial Mortgage Trust 2016 C36. Moody's downgrades 156 classes and places 15 classes under review for possible downgrade issued by 37 U.S. conduit commercial mortgage-backed securities. S&P index trades at a new all-time record intraday high. Super League, Salford Red Devils 34-8 Lee Centurions. The 4 best compost bins to help fertilize your garden in 2021. Liotto, high risk, high reward speculative Chinese F player, Daimler AG, DDAIF, on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, First Hawaiian Incorporated, FHB, CEO Robert Harrison on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript, Grupo Aeroportuario del Sureste, Sabda CV, ASR, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript, The Boiler Room Stock Pitch Recap, Pure Cycle, Uber, Yeti, PaySafe, IBM and more. Puerto Rico to fine travelers $300 without negative PCR COVID-19 test. Norman Anderson on the clean tech of tomorrow. Infrastructure is going to be the brains of the economy. Gary Sanchez is playing time at risk with Kyle Higashioka's powerful start. 3 Cathie Wood healthcare stocks to add to your portfolio. SARS-CoV genome sequencing to be ramped up. Fraternal Order of Police National VP slams Dems. Media for ignoring police shooting facts. The Boiler Room Stock Pitch Recap, Pure Cycle, Uber, Yeti, PaySafe, IBM and more. Benzinga, Porch Group Incorporated investors, company investigated by the Portnoy law firm. Panicked passengers flee fire on American Airlines flight. Impact of FBI's reopened investigation against Clinton. What is the worst-case scenario in reopened Clinton email probe? Trump hopes justice will finally be done in Clinton email probe. FBI reopens case against Clinton amid newly discovered emails. Amish teen Linda Stoltzfus was strangled, suffocated and stabbed. Chicago police shot a suspect wanted in the deadly shooting of a 7-year-old girl in a McDonald's drive-thru. Macy's, recovery in progress. Fraternal Order of Police VP slams Joy Bahar's ridiculous ideas for police officers. Tempur-Pedic's cheapest adjustable bed frame offers customization and support without all the flashy features of more expensive models. First Energy says in talks with DOJ for deal in bribery probe. Capital gains tax fears crimp stocks rally. Independent Bank Corporations, INDB, CEO Chris Odleifson on Q1 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Virginia Doe pushes document on mathematics through the lens of social justice. Derek Chauvin has sentencing date set for June following murder conviction. Cannabis movers and shakers, Sensi Media Group, Southern Glazers. The dish, Chef Tarakana, Pie Barker Fire hits 80 locations with T&S Fire acquisition, morning rounds, preventing sudden infant death syndrome, and more. Despite scandals and hacking scares, why do we still use emails? Honeywell slips despite first quarter earnings beat, CFTC commitment of traders, mixed changes for currency positions. Singapore Airlines' new world's longest flight touches down in NYC. Calls mount for video release in fatal shooting by deputies. This rising star gave the Nasdaq a boost even as Intel missed the rally. Evercade Versus is a modern retro game console with 2 cartridge slots. CNET. The Volkswagen ID4 is going to take on Baja and we'll be along for the ride. Roadshow. Gold erases gains as U.S. data refuels recovery optimism. Biden to make first overseas trip in June for G7, NATO summits. The 13 best hotels in Los Angeles for Michelin-starred chefs, stunning pools, and A-list people watching. Why can't Tamil Nadu government take over Vedanta's unit to produce oxygen? SC asks. How Alamo Drafthouse is redefining the cinema experience. HCL Technologies Limited ADR, CEO CV Jayakumar on Q4 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Why did Skechers USA stock get an upgrade? Should you pitch your startup to early stage investors? Irresistibly cheap flights to hot destinations like Japan are prompting Americans to gamble with travel restrictions. Biden calls Turkey's Erdogan ahead of possible Armenian genocide recognition. Biden informs incensed Erdogan of Armenian genocide recognition in Friday phone call. The influencer talent firm/management is launching a new production facility to help clients level up their content. Global $623 B&Beer market to 2026 by type, packaging, production, alcoholic content, flavor, distribution channel. The influencer talent firm/management is launching a new production facility to help clients level up their content. United States CFTC Gold NC net positions increased to $181.5 thousand from previous $180.9 thousand. United States CFTC oil NC net positions up to 500K from previous 492.7K. United Kingdom CFTC GBP NC net positions dipped from previous £25.6 thousand to £25.2 thousand. Japan CFTC JPY NC net positions down to minus 59.8 thousand yen from previous minus 58.3 thousand yen. European Monetary Union CFTC year NC net positions increased to 80.8 thousand euros from previous 66.9 thousand euros. Australia CFTC odd NC net positions declined to minus $1.8 thousand from previous $3.8 thousand. Stephen Miller's new nemesis is this former lawyer for the U.S. women's soccer team. He'll now defend Biden's policies in court. Intel's product roadmap gains momentum. Plane catches fire on O'Hare Airport runway. Supreme Court to hear transgender bathroom case. Attorney General disagreed with FBI director's decision. October surprise. FBI resuming investigation of Hillary Clinton emails. Can Cubs get even in Game 4 against Indians? Joe Biden discusses Trump's criticism of ICE's strategy. Is now the time to buy IPO, ahead of future merger announcement? A man who got his first COVID-19 vaccine a year ago in Moderna's clinical trial just received his third shot, and he's feeling great. India's harrowing coronavirus surge is a global problem. New variants and slow vaccine rollouts are a threat to countries everywhere. Still missing a stimulus check? Here's how the IRS says you can fix that. Chiefs trade with Ravens for Orlando Brown in major NFL draft shakeup. Cerity Partners chief equity strategist says the market correction has already happened and he's more bullish than ever. Chainlink, LINK, is now available in iTrust Capital IRA, 401k retirement accounts. UBS lands multi-billion-dollar teams from JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. Coinbase Pro lists controversial crypto stablecoin Tether. What you need to know. AZZ Incorporated, AZZ, CEO Tom Ferguson on Q4 2021 results, earnings call transcript. Better than tech? YFCX stock got another swing trading shot, in-house counsel on the move, major shakeups at Tesla, Coca-Cola and Google. Attorney General, FBI Director at odds over Clinton letter. FBI investigation takes center stage in presidential campaign. Full video. Donald Trump rallies in Colorado. Full video. Hillary Clinton rallies in Florida. IRS is holding millions of tax returns, delaying refunds. Did James Comey make the right move publicly reopening the Clinton case? The Great Indoors premieres on CBS. Hillary Clinton urges FBI to release all new information. DHS may soon release more migrants into U.S. Report. Store Enso Ouyi, Shojf, CEO Anika Bresky on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. TripAdvisor reveals the top summer vacation destinations for Americans. Aecon Group Incorporated, JIGSAW, CEO Jean-Louis Servrex on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. Entrepreneur Franchise of the Day, Tierra Encantada, Sensient Technologies Corporation, SXT, CEO Paul Manning on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. Can Australia keep up with the world's climate progress? Australian Politics Podcast. Interpreters who helped Australian forces in Afghanistan plead for visas to escape extreme threats. Australia left behind as wealthy G20 nations pledge emissions cuts. Global reset on climate action leaves Scott Morrison looking like yesterday's man. Catherine Murphy. Robo-planning of these assessments would save government $700 million. Corey LaJoy driving Fox Nation-sponsored Chevrolet in NASCAR Cup Series race at Talladega. Stocks and bonds shrug off Biden battering, dollar and cryptos tumble. Guardian Australia's book club. Join Emily Maguire to discuss hoarding, class and consent. "48 Hours Preview. A young mother disappears, how U.S. election affects immigration in Texas. National Guard members outraged over demands to pay back enlistment bonuses. Supreme Court to hear teen's transgender bathroom case." Gates probe includes scrutiny of potential public corruption tied to medical marijuana industry. Forget volatility, buy these two TSX stocks now for consistent income. Baidu Gili, Wonder Women, highlighting First Nations matriarchs. Tejon Ranch Company names General Counsel. Beacon announces pricing of $350 million senior notes offering. 22 Canadian children's books that will teach little ones about the North. Why FactSet stock is higher today. PC Connection Incorporated, CNXN, to release first quarter results for 2021, COD to report fiscal 2022 first quarter financial results and host a conference call on Wednesday, May 26, 2021. Why this tech stock looks like it's breaking out. Dollar falls as yields languish, Euro gets extra late-day lift. New York Times refuses to recognize union for tech workers. Virginia State Police probing sheriff deputy's shooting of Isaiah Brown during a dispute call. ATSG to host first quarter 2021 investor conference call. TME Technology Group Incorporated 4 announces the separate trading of its Class A common stock and warrants, commencing on or about April 26, 2021. Renfrew County Catholic District School Board workers join QB. Indian Railways in talks with Delhi government to ply Oxygen Express trains. Home builder stocks rise after strong March home sales report. Dow ends more than 200 points higher as stocks bounce back from tax-inspired dip. Newsom team raising money by tying Caitlyn Jenner to Trump. Regions Financial Corporation, RF, CEO John Turner on Q1 2021 results. Earnings call transcript. ATP Roundup. Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic reach respective semifinals. Dow ends 228 points higher as market shrugs off higher tax fears. From Eric Bogle to Ziggy Ramo, the Australian music challenging the Anzac legacy. Carlyle Euro CLO 2021 1 DAC. Moody's assigns provisional ratings to 7 classes of notes to be issued by Carlyle Euro CLO 2021 1 DAC. Gold ends week uneventfully after almost re-entering $1,800. Wall Street rebounds as tax concerns ease. Dynatronics, DYNT, receives a buy from Maxim Group. How to earn, redeem, and maximize Alaska Airlines miles, from domestic flights to international first class. SoulCycle continues to expand. SoulCycle outside pop-up activations powered by Hush Concerts. Black Enterprise presented virtual summit focused on closing the racial wealth gap and building multi-generational wealth in Black communities. April 22, Novavax to host conference call to discuss first quarter financial results and operational highlights on May 10, 2021. Cal CPA Women to Watch Award winners announced during its Elevate Women's Leadership Forum. DDE. Energy. NiSource cut at Evercore IC on valuation. TOT announces initial application to list its common shares on the Nasdaq Capital Market. WSFS Financial Corp. WSFS, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. Southside Bank Shares Incorporated. SBSI, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. National Bank Holdings Corporation. NBHC, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. Employers Holdings Incorporated. EIG, Q1 2021 earnings call transcript. Barings Participation Investors reports preliminary first quarter 2021 results and announces quarterly cash dividend of 20 cents per share. Barings Corporate Investors reports preliminary first quarter 2021 results and announces quarterly cash dividend of 24 cents per share. The worldwide insurance analytics industry is projected to reach $20.6 billion by 2026 at a CAGR of 15.1% from 2020. No new high close for the S&P after trading to a new all-time intraday high. Capital Product Partners LP schedules first quarter 2021 earnings release, conference call and webcast. Delisting of securities of Interpace Biosciences Incorporated, Francesca's Holdings Corporation, and Wins Finance Holdings Incorporated from the Nasdaq stock market. Carrot Packaging Incorporated announces exercise and closing of over-allotment option in public offering. 3M prevails in German utility infringement lawsuit.